So Zeitgeist. Let's talk about Zeitgeist. And specifically, we have a Lytics report to break down. Lytics, if you're not familiar, is Alex Newhouse's really amazing platform where he has great analytics on Kindle sales. He's the only person in the industry who has really good Kindle analytics. BookScan does not capture Kindle analytics in any sort of detailed way. They have a huge hole in their data, which I actually verified on one of my podcasts. I had a BookScan representative, and he's like, yeah, we don't capture indie ebook sales, which is most of the ebook sales are indie sales. So the current Zeitgeist report is on cozy mysteries. So what is going on with cozy mysteries, Jonathan?
Cozy mysteries. The term being more used than cozy mystery right now, because cozy mystery, or the term cozy itself, really got big 5 or 6 years ago, and that's really when the term cozy really started going. Cozy mystery now is more known as amateur sleuth. So if you're going to do keywords or categories, you really want to pinpoint the amateur sleuth thing. And you want to keep an eye on historical cozies, and this one was weird to me, animal mystery cozies. Okay, I assume that's a sidekick.
Yeah, okay? It's a detective and his dog.
Yeah, nothing makes a mystery more cozy than Encyclopedia Brown and his dog solving a mystery, and Encyclopedia Brown talks through his process with the dog. Okay, and Sherlock Holmes is what Sherlock Holmes does with Watson.
So somebody's asking, like, Murder, She Wrote. I haven't seen any of Murder, She Wrote, but I do think that those are cozy.
Yes, Murder, She Wrote is cozy, because the things that define cozy, and I had to look this up, is it's very local. It's small in scale, very local, but intense because of how local it is.
And no peril. So there's a kind of continuum between mystery, thriller, and suspense, where the more suspenseful it is, the less of a mystery it is, and cozies are on the far extreme, where the Agatha Christie character, Hercule Poirot, is never in danger of his own life, right? And the pace is very slow. He can slowly figure out the clues. There's no ticking clock. There's no assassin who's just, it's like, freeze, there's an assassin in the tower. There's none of that. And it could be an older mystery too. So it's very cozy is a really good word, actually. I don't know how much we have to define this. Low peril.
It's not going to raise your blood pressure too much, I guess, while you're reading it. It's nice. You like the main character. It's like a lot of the times the protagonists in these are female. That really helps with the coziness. Men tend to go for more intense stuff, so that'd be your mystery and your thriller things. But especially for females, who form the majority of the reading market, it's going to be
you're allowed kind of stuff. Yeah, somebody said no violence. You're allowed violence on the very first page. So usually it opens with a dead body. So there's always some
murder is as far as you can go, and there's one spot of blood.
Right. I did read some cozy mysteries one time where it was a bunch of cozy mystery short stories. My wife's really into cozy mysteries. So we were on our anniversary. So we're like, oh, we'll read these to each other. It'd be really fun. We found like a book of cozy mystery short stories. And the target audience for this was like retirees and nursing homes. And it was all these like, the jewels in my nursing home room are missing and I have to find them. So that's like super cozy. And it was like there wasn't even a dead body half the time. So I think a little bit of violence for a dead body is fine. So let's talk about this market. So Jonathan, break down the market for us.
So the kind of people that are reading cozy, if you're reading cozy at all, you're looking for something that you want to retreat into away from stress. Okay, so this is a very direction-based genre. Cozy is I want to dive into it like a blanket, and I want to be enveloped in a very comforting atmosphere. I have a funny old lady, like a golden girl, and she's the protagonist. Okay, and she loves her little dog that she brings with her everywhere, regardless of whether she's going into a CEO's office or the Pentagon. Okay, but cozy will never go into the Pentagon, so don't worry about it. But it's about being enveloped in safety and still having some element of tension or conflict.
And solving the puzzle. So
yes,
all mysteries are this way. Cozies are particularly this way. The reader is trying to solve the mystery along with the detective. And the emotional feeling of a cozy mystery is the same emotional feeling that you would have working on a jigsaw puzzle at night with the fire blazing and like listening to nice music. It's
and warm chocolate chip cookies with
and
cold
warm
milk.
chocolate chip cookies and bringing order to chaos. And at the end of the book, the crime has been solved, the bad guy has been brought to justice, and the relationships have been restored.
And the protagonist goes on to do it again.
Yeah.
There's always that open-ended for the protagonist.
And there's typically not a lot of character development. Like if you read an Agatha Christie books out of order, you're not like, oh,
you don't know.
Why does Hercule Poirot only have one eye? It's like, oh, he should have heard in the last book where he got into a fist fight with the bad guy. None of that, right? Hercule Poirot is frozen as a character, and that's okay. And so oftentimes you're like, oh, your protagonist has to go through this emotional journey where he grapples with the lie that he's been believing since he was a child and like has got to repent from his like, no, it's okay to have Sherlock Holmes just be Sherlock Holmes, and he's solving crimes and chasing down leads.
And they've made that mistake recently because they keep changing Sherlock Holmes. They like in the Benedict Cumberbatch series, they had him go through an arc, and they actually lost viewers because of it, because he kept changing. As opposed to, say the John Wick movies. You know what John Wick learns in all 4 movies? Nothing.
They keep telling me I'm back. I guess I'm back.
They keep throwing bodies at him. Like, why is anyone still running this way? Like I don't understand. But people are actually perfectly fine with static protagonists, like Captain America. Captain America doesn't change. He stays the same no matter what comes after him. So when you're in your cozy genre, you can have a static protagonist, and you should, because if you have a protagonist with a defined arc and you have the peak and the trough, that doesn't feel very cozy anymore.
I've got the charts up from this report, and you really should. We're just skimming the surface on this report. You really should go to authormedia.com/K-Lytics. I actually have an affiliate link for K-Lytics. Cozy mystery is spiking in demand. So if you look at cozy mystery on Google, searches are as high as they've ever been in 2025 since 2015. And the volume on Amazon is spiking as well. This is the kind of genre that does well when people are feeling uncomfortable. When life is unsettled, people look for comforting books. When life is boring, people look for more exciting books. And
okay, I got. Well, let me define that a little bit further, okay?
Yeah.
Because this is not the same across genders. Okay. Now there's some behavioral overlap between genders. So when I say this, I'm stereotyping. Okay. So I understand there are some males who fit on this side.
Things can be generally true without being universally true. So just
anyone who wants to crawl down my throat about this, meet me in the parking lot. Okay. But males, when they're in a stress time, tend to look for problem-solving solutions. So it's the difference between playing Doom, if that's the way you want to approach these problems, or say like Age of Empires, where you just got to farm up.
A perfect example is the 2 games that spiked when everyone was locked down in 2020 was Doom, where you're shooting demons in the face with a shotgun, and you're bringing order to chaos by violently destroying evil, and Animal Crossing, where you're bringing order to chaos by picking up the weeds on your little animal island.
So there's a difference in intensity that people are willing to take there. Now, on the very intense masculine side of things, take order of the world and bring order to it. I'll bring order, my new empire. You have Doom. That's your problem solving, okay? But then you have the people who want to get away from the stress because they're trying to endure it and they hope it goes away on its own, okay? And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm saying that's a personality type. These are your people that go into cozy. So when you are writing for these people that are over on the cozy side, like I don't do cozy at all. I can't remember the last time I even tried anything cozy, unless I was sitting down with my wife and watching one of her things, okay? Because I
do
definitely
watch a fair number of Hallmark cozy mysteries every Christmas time with my wife.
So much flannel.
I saw a meme. It was like the power lines for a new data center were going through a Christmas tree farm, and somebody posted it's like a news story, and so he's like, new Hallmark story plot just dropped. Like, you have the like AI guy who's hatching to destroy the Christmas tree farm, and you have the like lady where it's her historic farm. And
I saw a skit where it was a support group for all the high-powered executive guys that keep getting abandoned by all the Hallmark girls. What is it about flannel? It was so good.
Anyway, back to the Lytics report. I'm skipping a lot. One of the most valuable things from these reports, and what we won't give you because I don't want to just take Alex's reports that he put so much time in and give them away for free, is that he will gather all of the covers, all the best-selling books from a subgenre within Cozy Mysteries, and put all of the covers together with each other. And this is so useful because if your cover doesn't fit with these other covers, you've got a bad cover.
Yes.
And that one element of this report, which is like one page of a 100-page report, it makes the whole thing worth it, because figuring out what the best-selling covers are in a genre is actually kind of tricky because the bestseller ranks will change from day to day. And so knowing if your cover fits is really useful.
And another good thing about this report is it already puts it in a thumbnail size, because you have to understand the way your cover competes with other colors is that big on Amazon, because that's what people see. If it's in also bots, or if it's on the, the little, if they find it in the direct search thing, it's that big. So you'll have to check your covers against other things like that. So you'll be able to visually scan this, see what stands out to you, and be able to create a design brief for your cover designer.
Another thing that this chart has is it will give you a breakdown of the pricing for all of the books in the Cozy Mysteries category. And I'll tell you, the number one most common priced, I think 25% of all Cozy Mystery Kindle ebooks are $4.99. So that's the mode price.
Do not underprice yourself in Cozy Mystery because people won't buy it.
So you can see where the other popular prices are in the report. We're running out of time, so we're going to go through this really quickly. Let's go to tropes real quick. So he also has a part of his report that's on tropes. Jonathan, you want to give us a summary of this?
Well, we talked about the animal thing. People are really enjoying that, especially with this generation. This generation is very attached to their animals, mostly because there's been a large de-emphasis on having children. So if you have that animal companion there, that's a good thing, especially when you have older people who are reading these Cozy Mysteries, who they might be in nursing homes, they miss their kids. We don't have a great culture of kids going to visit their grandparents anymore. So that animal really provides most of the companionship that your readers are going to relate with. So the animal is super important. You almost can't leave it out anymore.
There's also a lot of paranormal cozy.
But psychic is falling. Like there used to be Cozy Psychic. What was that show called? Psych. It was called Psych.
Yeah.
Where he pretended to be psychic. Okay. I found that show really obnoxious. I couldn't watch it more than 3 or 4 episodes.
My wife and I enjoyed that show, actually. The paranormal is one piece of it. In there, I will say the number one trope in paranormal currently, the top 3 is witch, magic, and just the word paranormal. Fae is at the very bottom. In Wizard and Dragon are also at the bottom. The kind of people who know about the Fae courts, which is like nerdy dudes, are not the same people who are reading cozy romance.
Correct.
Right. Although I will say that's starting to shift. There are understanding of Fae mythology is expanding outside of just nerdy guys. But animals are really big. So dogs are number 1, cats are number 2. And there's a whole group of culinary mysteries that are food based. And there's actually a whole Hallmark series where this like lady bakes cookies and solves mysteries, and it's sometimes for some reason always Christmas.
I don't understand.
My wife really likes it. Yeah, no, it actually makes perfect sense. Remember the picture I had of the person sitting at the jigsaw table, the fire is roaring in the background, and they're listening to nice music and they're drinking hot coffee. What did you add to that scene, Jonathan?
Cookies. Yep.
And so all of that's the emotional feeling that you're
Yeah.
creating, and understanding the emotional feeling that you're creating is what you're selling with a book. And I will say one interesting thing with, because I know this is our zeitgeist segment, but mystery as a genre almost defies zeitgeist. Like there has never been a time that I'm aware of where mystery went out of fashion as a kind of book. Now, what
The kinds
there's
of
movement
problems that were
around
solved.
mystery,
Yeah.
but solving the jigsaw puzzle, right? Doing the Sudoku, doing the crossword, that feeling of I got it, I put the pieces together, I figured it
Mhm.
out, is so emotionally satisfying that it almost doesn't matter what's going on, who the
So
president is, if there's a war or not, if it's economic good times or economic bad times, what turning we're in. That feeling is that cozy, warm blanket feeling never goes out of fashion.
and this is something you can use when you're going for the guys who prefer Doom, because when I watch a mystery or read a mystery, I very rarely read a mystery. I'll usually watch it. I'm competing with the protagonist or with the detective if that's not the protagonist, like Knives Out, um, to see if I can figure it out before them. So if when you're creating a story like that, you want to think about how do I keep my cozy aspect engaged so that I have my, I have my feminine personality that is just retreating from stress, but also engaging the problem solver. And I'm kind of racing them, keeping them going to see how long they'll stay engaged to see if they can try to figure it out.